I do apologise for the lack of notice about this live, but I actually was not intending to do a live today. I work in retail, I run my own shop, and it's Monday. It's just after Black Friday, and we are in the run-up to Christmas. So I am tired, and I was not planning to be live. But you know what? I come home, I'm making my dinner, I'm eating my dinner, and I'm thinking about football, obviously, because what else do you do when you're eating your dinner? And I think of things that I want to speak about, and I'm like, oh, well, now I'm going to have to go live because I need to speak to other people about this. And my other half has exactly zero interest in football. He's no use to me at all when it comes to this. So I need you people, when I'm thinking these things, to have a conversation with me. So what I would like to talk about today is Brentford, because I just don't feel like they're getting enough attention, being honest with you. That's normally what I do. When I see a team not getting enough attention, I think, I know I'm going to give them attention. Marv, I would tell him to bring me tea, but you know what it is? He loves a bit of online gaming. He's in the middle of some tournament or other, so I'm on my own today. I don't have tea, I have the remains of a wee red drink. So I'm just going to have a bit of that. But hello to everybody joining. Nice to see everybody. Thank you for sharing your Monday evening with me. Apologies, Twisted. I am speaking about Brentford. Please stick around. Don't leave us. Hey, Dave, Marv, obviously Twisted. There's Matthew. Anthony was in at the start. Tell everyone to smash a like, to subscribe. Let me take a sip of this and we will get stuck into it. I see our guests. There will be tea, guests, but I was already late. I wasn't going to go and make a cup right now, so there'll be tea after the video. Please just let me adjust my seat because it's one of those twisty seats, you know, like the seats. But it moves as I sit on it because I talk like this all the time and I move a lot when I speak. The chair swivels, and I think the floors in my house are slanted because my chair keeps swiveling. Oh, guys, Mark is my dad, so if everyone can just say hi to him, because I'm actually very proud of the fact that he has not only found his way to the video, but found his way to the comment section. So if everybody can just say hi and be nice. So, Brentford, Igor Thiago. This man is on fire. He has 11 goals in 13 games. Hello, I would like one of those. Where can Manchester United get a striker that will score that many goals in that many games? Because I feel like that is points. Guess if you could just take care of Jesus Almighty there. I think he's found himself onto the wrong channel. I don't think we're for him. Thank you very much. So, Igor Thiago, Brentford. Hey mama, welcome. Brentford are currently in 10th, which I find very interesting. It's a very apt time to make this video because 10th is actually where they finished at the end of last season. So, they're currently managed by Keith Andrews. Keith Andrews was actually a set-piece coach at Brentford. He was appointed in July of 2024 as a set-piece coach, and then in June of 2025, so just prior to the season starting, he was made the head coach. So they've got 19 points at the moment. They do have a +1 goal difference, so they're doing a-okay. They're doing a lot better than some teams that you would expect to be above them. Obviously, myself and Ash spoke before the Premier League came back, just at the end of the last international break, the many international breaks, and we were talking about where's everybody going to finish, what do we expect for teams in the run-up to Christmas, who's going to fall down the table, who's going to go up the table, what direction are people going to move. Obviously, Ash is confident Newcastle were going to shoot up the league. I was cautiously confident that Manchester United were going to do better. We both agreed surely Liverpool cannot be this consistently terrible for an entire season. They will improve. And therefore, we had to talk about who will then go down if all these teams are starting to move up. And our unanimous decision was the team that would fall the way down was Brentford. How wrong are we? So, it's nice to be wrong though sometimes, because if football is so predictable, it also gets so boring, and nobody wants that. We enjoy the chaos, you know I love to say it. We enjoy the surprise, we love an underdog, and we just like to keep changing things up. So, I am not afraid of being wrong. I think it's important to be wrong sometimes, otherwise life won't surprise you anymore. But definitely Brentford are sticking it out. Now, One of their key wins in recent times is they have beat the mighty Grimsby that threw Manchester United out of the EFL Cup, and they smashed them 5-0, which obviously means they're on for the title. No, on a serious note though, they've done really, really, really well. And considering they lost two of their key players from last season, I'm astounded, and I think they should be absolutely delighted with themselves. If we look at their last season, where, as I said, they finished 10th, Brian Mbeumo, 27 GA last season. 27. That's huge. It's a really big number. That is obviously now at Manchester United. He's gone out the window. Yes, Mama Flossie, Mark is my dad. So he's made his way in. No problem, Anthony. We know you're here. Yes, Dave boy, the mighty Grimsby. Apologies if you're going to have nightmares tonight, but Brentford were up to the task. Even without Mbeumo and his 27 GA, even without Wissa and his 23 GA. So the next player last season after Mbeumo and Wissa was, I don't know how to say it, is it Shade or Shada? Because he's German. Is it Shada? Let's go with Shada. That sounds fancy. He had 13, so it was like 27, 23, 13. So they lost hit streets, so they lost like a massive amount of GA for their team. And obviously then, as we do, we make assumptions, and we're thinking, what are they going to do with themselves? Surely Brentford are going to be down near the relegation zone. They're in for trouble. They have a new manager. They've lost key players. The obvious thing is they're going to drop down the table. Not what happened. Not what happened at all. And you know what it is? Isn't that fantastic to see? When you've written a team off, when you say absolutely not, and they come back at you and they say, do you know what? You're wrong. We've got this. And in steps Igor Thiago with, I am going to repeat this, 11 goals in 13 games. If he carries on that form, this man is going to have a 30 plus goal season, which is incredible. And I would just like to say, he's not a new signing. This boy isn't new. This man, this Brazilian man, isn't new. He was with Brentford last season. And last season, he wasn't even in their top 10 players for GA. So whatever has happened, there has been an absolute revolution in his form. So either Keith Andrews has worked an absolute magic on this man, or he has gone away, he's gone either home for the summer, or he has just spent every day on the training pitch, in the gym. I don't know what he's done, but I would like a piece of whatever he's got, and I would like to give it to the players at Manchester United. I'm sure there's a few Liverpool fans would like a bit of that for Alexander Isak and his one goal all season. And there we go. Anthony's got it. Anthony is who I want on my quiz team. So he was out last season for the first 7 months with an ACL injury. So who knows if he could have done this last season as well. Maybe this man has been flying under the radar through injury, through, just different things, and now he is reborn. They have cleared his path and he has been reborn. So I just thought it's not getting enough attention, really. Like, how many of our teams, I know Manchester United's in here, I know Newcastle's in here, Arsenal's doing pretty okay for goals, you've enough, we don't need more of you, but I know we've got some teams in this chat that would love to add those goals. Matthew, you're Liverpool, aren't you? So we've got Liverpool represented in here as well. There's a lot of teams that would love to have a player like that scoring that many goals, but nobody's talking about it because, shock horror, we're talking about Arsenal and Chelsea and City again. And I'm not saying we should never speak about these teams, but there are other teams in the league, there are other players in the league, and they just don't get the attention. Is it because they're not glamorous enough? We're looking in German leagues, we're looking in French leagues, we're looking in Spanish leagues. Let's go over to South America. Here's one right here. He's South American. He's glam. He's Brazilian. I mean, come on. How much more glamorous do you get? Twisted. We have Crystal Palace in the house. Twisted. You are forever big enough, Crystal Palace. Don't tell me now you're crying for more goals. You can't have him. We've dibbed him. You can't have him. But I see all the time, we're looking for the next big thing, the next young guy, the next, here's a guy here. And I'm just thinking to myself, why are we not looking at him? I mean, Brentford are doing well, but I'm sure if a Liverpool or a Manchester United, we've still got it, come on guys, we've still got it. If a Newcastle's not a small team, they're bigger than Brentford. Sorry, Brentford. But I mean, if Crystal Palace, maybe Crystal Palace, surely. I would, but maybe that's because I know Twisted. But surely if one of these teams come in, he would at least consider it. Maybe not mid-season, but in the summer. He's going to at least consider it. And I can't imagine he's going to be absolutely mental money the way some of these players are. And I'm just thinking to myself, Premier League proven. Now, like that, the injury is a concern. But I mean, if he stays fit for the whole of this season, okay. I mean, we've got enough injury-prone players in our club. So, I mean, we'll give him a go. We don't mind. And there just doesn't seem to be enough attention on him. And I mean, I'm sure Brentford wouldn't give him up without a fight. But I also don't think, if the price was right, they would prevent a move for him. And I don't know anybody talking about him. And I see Twisted in there, he's playing for a move. And we say this all the time. There's players that play for international break. And there's players that play for a move. There's players that play for a new contract. Players have all sorts of different motivations. It's entirely possible that he is playing for a move. Do you know what it is? It's clearly working. Whatever motivation he is using, it is clearly working for him. And yet I don't hear enough people talking about him. Why is that? Why do we think nobody's talking? Is it because he plays at Brentford? Is it because he had the injury last season? What is it about him that nobody's talking? Because normally when it's like that, a South American player, people are jumping all over it. It's the next big thing. And even now, as we get closer to a transfer window, while I said I don't think he would move in January, but as we get closer to a transfer window, rumours are rife. People say all sorts of things that aren't true. And I haven't heard anything about this man. I think I saw one channel, and I can't remember which one it was, so I'm not going to tell a lie, but I'm sure I saw one channel, it actually might have even been Ash on a panel somewhere, that mentioned this guy, or it might have been a group chat, I can't remember, but somebody it was like a throwaway comment. That's how throwaway it was. I can't remember where I heard it. And I remember thinking to myself, that's odd. That's odd that's a lot of goals and nobody's talking about him. Why is that? And so I said, look, one of the evenings I'll have a wee look. So this evening I was munching away on my burger and I thought, I must have a look at that wee chap from Brentford. And there he is, with his 11 goals in 13 matches. And I'm like, I'm just baffled. I'm baffled, folks. Would you take him at your clubs? Shout your club, and if you would take him. Because I'm really curious. Maybe I'm just overhyping him altogether because we are so starved of good strikers at Manchester United. I'm like, I'll take anybody. I don't care. I'll play up front. So maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm blowing it out of proportion. I'm hyping it up too much. Maybe people are right not to be talking about it. But would you take him at your club? If yes, why? If no, why? Get stuck in. I'm going to go back and read some of your comments while you get your answers into me. Let's go up. Anthony. United have a 16-year-old Kai Rooney and an 18-year-old Obi coming through. Your future looks good 2 to 3 years' time, Lou. Anthony, I have no doubt about the talent of these players and the other ones that don't get spoken about enough. My concern there is that we have a knack of ruining talented players. We have a knack of not ushering them through properly, and we definitely have a knack of taking a talent and making them more ego than talent. So while I don't doubt the players that are coming through, I have concerns if United is currently the place to develop that type of talent and if it will stay at the level that it's currently at. So I don't want to rely on youth. I have no problem with youth coming through, and I hope they continue to do so, but I want a more mature, established team for them to be moving into. And at the moment, Sesko is developmental. He's new to the league, he's developmental, he's learning, and we're very, very aware that no matter what league you come from, the Premier League is real specific. It's real, like, out there on a world of its own. And so while I think Sesko will come good, I think he will do well, I do not doubt him. I don't know if a youth player coming through is the answer. I think at Manchester United you need more than one striker for starters, because I'm not counting Xerxes. I have repeatedly said Xerxes has talent, but he's not a striker. So as far as I'm concerned, the current striker that we have is Sesko, who is young and developmental in himself. I want to see a bit more maturity and a bit more maybe wise to the Premier League coming in. So I don't count out what you're saying, but it's not something that I would absolutely be relying on at the moment. I still think we need to supplement that from the outside as well. Matthew is saying Voltamada or Voltamessi, if we take Ash's word for it, is better than Isak too, and I would say based on current form it's hard to argue with that. Marv, good players that do well at smaller clubs sometimes don't do well at bigger clubs because of the system, culture of the new bigger club. And that's just a shout out. Marv is also a United fan, so that's just a shout out to what we have seen in previous transfers, where we have taken players in that look absolutely phenomenal to get to us, and they're not as much as they're cracked up to be, or players that have come through and they've had one super season and then they fall off. It's kind of they've peaked and they've gone back down, or it's a purple patch or whatever you want to call it. But it's a step up for every player. When you go from sort of a mid-table team to what's considered one of the big boys, which United might not be in results, but by reputation, by fan base, by the amount of eyes that are on you, we're definitely still there. And so I do think that impacts any player that comes in. The thing is, that's a risk. That's a risk we have to take because of the nature of our club. So I don't think we can not take a player. It's possible that he would come through and it wouldn't work out, but I don't think that's a reason not to get him, because that can happen to anybody. You take that risk when they come from another league. You take that risk when they come from another country. You take that risk when they come from a team that is considered lesser or smaller than us. Although, honestly, that's just questionable at the minute. Marv is agreeing with Matthew. Newcastle selling Isak was the best sale this year for Newcastle, and I have to say they got rid of what is now, perceived as a problem player, and they got all the moolah. So I can't argue with that. Flossie, oh, I've scrolled. Flossie, I've lost you. Where did you go? Look for the blue. Flossie's agreeing. Yep, sometimes the weight of the shirt is too much. We have to agree. Look at Onana. Onana was the next big superstar goalkeeper ever, came to United, and he looked like he'd never seen a net before. So it's very hard to disagree with that. I see Danny's coming in. Nice to see you, Danny. Thank you for joining us this evening. Matthew, yep, the gamble. So we're just talking about Isak, Voltamada, Voltamessi, and again, sometimes you take a risk, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. And the rest of that story is still being written. Sorry. Marv, Onana, world class, ... volleyball player. Love it. Sorry, that's got me. We're talking about toxic cultures at clubs. And Mbeumo and Cunha are fighting through the toxic culture at Manchester United. Yes, they are, but I think they need some backup to put that fire out. And I think the more players like Mbeumo and Cunha we get, the more players that are, I think, sure of themselves, sure of the player they are, sure of the person they are. Not like older, like, and I loved Cavani, but not like Cavani or like the older players that we were bringing in. But like maybe not quite so young either. Kind of 24, 25 is a really good age, because they know who they are as a person and as a player. There's still room for them to grow, but they're not going to be as easily led astray. And I think that's really, really important, because we see that with Mbeumo and Cunha. And the more of that we get, the more diluted the poison becomes at Manchester United. And eventually it becomes so diluted and so watered down that we have cleansed the club and the squad from the poison. We hope. But yeah, I definitely think we need more. Let me see. I have to read this one out because it'll make our Mama Flossie happy. So Dave Boy says the Geordies smacked Liverpool's bottom with the Isak transfer, and he's being posh by saying bottom with 2 T's. So speaking of tea, I really would like one actually. Guess, why did you say tea? Because now every time I look at words I see tea and I want some. Let me see what else. These are a chatty bunch tonight. Of a Monday, look at all the energy you have with all the typing fingers out there. Let me see. Let's scroll. Marv is saying we need any striker. That's at Manchester United. Marv, I tend to agree. I think Manchester United should have 3 strikers at all time as a bare minimum. You kind of want 2 sort of senior ones that are duking it out, and then one that's sort of developing underneath them would be my ideal. And yes, that's why we're playing 1. If we were playing 2 strikers back in the old days, I would want more than 3. So that's where I would be at. Oh, my computer, honestly, computers hate me. I think they can sense when it's me. Like, I'm trying to scroll the mouse and it goes like a little bit, and then it just like shoots up when yous are gone, and I have to find where I was then. So let me see. If I miss stuff, I'm trying to get a lot of them in because that's what I like about the show. For me, very much on the channel, what I love is that we're just having a bit of a natter. Do you know, we're having a bit of a chat. We're having a bit of a back and forth. I was saying to the chaps earlier, and to Mama Flossie, I would love, like, see a fireplace here, a pot of tea on the table, like story time. Do you know in an old pub where you had the fire going, you have a pint in your hand, and you're just having a good old gas? Well, that's what I would like, except for with a pot of tea. So, you know, one day when I make it as a super duper YouTuber, I'm going to get a fake fire and a pot of tea on every stream. But for now, we have this wall that I will work on in the time. So, yes, distracted. Back to football. Sorry, lads. Yes. Oh, posh. Okay, I think I'm in the right spot. Dave is saying Cunha and Sesko could be our new Shaw and Martinez holding hands in the medical room. I didn't know where that was going, Dave. Do you know what? No. I'm not. I understand. I agree. I'm not having it. I just absolutely refuse. And I figure if we all just refuse, maybe it won't happen. I think the one that I'm concerned about with injuries is Martinez, if I'm being totally honest with you, because he's had a long layoff. We have no idea how that's going to affect him long term. He doesn't know. It's outside of his control. Nobody knows how his body is going to react to being back to playing football. So I am delighted to see him back. I'm a little bit wary. Hey, Aaron's joining us. Everybody's in the house tonight. I should do lives on Mondays all the time. Everybody's at a loose end. Everybody's looking for a wee chat. Everybody's here to have a bit of, you know, catching up with everybody. We might have to look into this Monday thing. I didn't know everybody was around on a Monday. I've been missing out on all the crack. But yeah, so look, Cunha has had a few little niggles. He has missed a few little matches. This most recent one, though, was down to a head injury, which is completely, like, it's not to do with his, you know, with a body or a muscle or something he's done. Somebody knocked him on the bounce. I mean, that can happen to any of us. So I'm not going there. Sesko hasn't had many injuries, has he? Maybe I've missed some of them. I feel like he's been in and out of the team, but I don't think he's had many injuries, has he? Do correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm feeling positive. I don't think so. They would have to go a long way to be as bad as the other two. Yes, Shaw needs to cut and run. You need a refresh. Yeah, Shaw should have been gone like 5 years ago, honestly. He played very well the other day, yesterday, all the days, but in general he just needs to be like totally gone. Marv, yeah, he's playing for a World Cup spot and staying healthy for it too. Watch him break his leg again after it though. 100%. And again, he is one of the players, he plays for international duty. If he can get up for an international tournament, suddenly Luke Shaw is going to be like Jesus Christ arisen from the dead, because he suddenly finds this non-injury Luke Shaw within him and plays for a few months. Does my head in. Talented, irritating. That's where he is. Onana, world class volleyball player. Also, I should let people know, because you won't know, Guess was a loyal supporter of David De Gea. She was onto Onana's case before the rest of us. She saw what we didn't see before it became obvious to the world. So Onana is like a dirty name to her. We don't talk about him. He's like, shh, don't tell her. Let me see, Anthony. Brentford's system is tailor-made for Igor type striker. He is the only player really getting the goals, just like Hamlet City. And Anthony, you're absolutely correct, because they essentially have Tiago down the middle, they have your wee man Shada on the left wing, and then they have Utara on the right wing. Shada and Utara have 3 goals each this season, and then you have Tiago steaming ahead. I'll be honest, I don't mind that too much. Do you know, old-fashioned, just the striker is the striker? The striker puts the ball in the net, goal hanger, poacher, I don't care what you want to call it. I don't mind that. See, if he's really good at it, he can do that. I don't need my striker playing at 10. We have about 15 10s. I need a striker just to be a striker. I need him to be in the box, put the ball in the back of the net. So honestly, I'm at the point where I think United should be trying to buy this man. And genuinely, I hope somebody from United is watching this stream. Unlikely, but I mean, I'm putting it out into the universe, spread the word. I think we should be looking at him. At the very least, we should be looking at him. I mean, we might not go for him. Why would we not look at him? It would be absolute insanity not to be looking at him. So, yeah, the system's tailor-made for him. And like that, it's absolutely the kind of goal striker that I would want. I like a throwback striker, to be honest with you. Other than the fact that Haaland plays for City, again, just fantastic. He just scores goals. He's just really good, which is what you want from a striker. So, it's one of them. Marv is saying Brentford was also smart to sell Wissa. I don't think he played a match yet this season. No, I don't think he did, Marv. He's just been injured. That's the way chap that Ash was saying, the bottom, and he's been injured since he went on international duty, got injured, and then hasn't actually managed a game for Newcastle. So, lucky for Newcastle that Voltamat has been so good, because that was a complete fluke. Obviously, someone on their recruitment team knew he was going to be good, but I mean, fair play to him, first of all, for coming in, hitting the ground running, because we talk about players that come in and they need time to settle, they need time to adapt, blah, 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 blah. Voltamat has come in and gone, hold my beer, lads. I know what to do. And I think it's actually going to be difficult for Wissa when he comes back, although Ash did tell me that he feels like they're going to play a system where they can both be in it. He explained it to me. But Ash is good at all that stuff. I'm good at like winging it, vibes, how do we feel about things. Ash is good at like stats and, the reality. So, well, we make a good team, so we do. But I trust him when he tells me things, because I'm not looking it up to correct him. So if Ash thinks there's a system where they can both play, I believe him. Where have I gone? Oh, it's done it again. It's done it. Do you know what it is? It's when I talk for too long. I read a comment, I'm like, oh, that's a great comment, and then I speak about it, and then I speak about it for too long, and I come back, and my mouse forgets how to mouse. So, Dave Boy says, I think Onana and Rashford will be back next season. Barcelona are broke, and any team that wants Onana must be run worse than our owners. Sorry. Did anybody see recently Onana made a comment, supposedly, I don't know if it's real, I saw it on Twitter, so I don't know if it's real, that he still thinks that he can fight for the number 1 keeper at Manchester United. Honestly, the level of delusion is incredible. Because he seems to be doing all right. He's in Turkey. he seems to be doing okay over there. Like, he seems happy enough. He seems to be performing better than he was over here. Why would you want to come back to this stress? So, disaster. I saw as well, I might have seen this on the United stand, I think, that Barcelona are trying to negotiate essentially a lower price for Marcus Rashford. I'll be honest, he's over there, he's doing well over there, he's obviously surrounded by different people, a different environment over there, maybe away from the pubs, clubs, beers, and people that were potentially leading him astray. Over here, he seems to be doing much, much better. In Spain, at Barcelona, the fans seem to really like him. He seems to be performing overall well. All I see the whole time is United are mental for letting him go. Look how well he's doing. So I assume he's doing well. I don't watch Barcelona all the time, so I couldn't actually tell you. But I mean, the move seems to have been good for him. It seems to have been good for Barcelona. It's definitely been good for Manchester United. It's very rare in a transfer that everybody wins. There is normally a loser. So I think just like whatever the price is, just let him go. It's working for everybody. Don't break something that's not broken. So I hope Rashford doesn't come back. Dave, honestly, if Onana comes back, I'm finding you, because I'm holding you personally responsible. You'd want to come in here and do penitence, say 10 Hail Marys for your sins, because he's not coming back. Danny is saying that he loved the Leeds and City video that I did and it was great. Thank you very much, Danny. I had never done a City video before, or a Leeds video for that matter, considering they're both rivals of Manchester United. They're not teams that I watch all the time, so I wanted to try and be fair. I wanted to try and be even-handed and talk about them in as unbiased a way as possible. Obviously, a lot of the time I do talk about Manchester United. It's my team. It's the team that I know the most about. It's obviously the team I'm most comfortable speaking about because I know it the best. But I want the channel to be about speaking about all the teams, and I don't mean all the big teams. I mean all the teams that don't get spoken about. The Sunderlands, the Crystal Palaces, the Newcastles. For some reason, Newcastle get massively overlooked. I don't understand it, because nothing against Spurs, but I would put Newcastle and Spurs more or less on a level in terms of size of team. I don't understand why Spurs get spoken about all the bloody time and Newcastle just was brushed to the side. Baffles me, and I mean genuinely baffles me. I don't get it. And then the likes of tonight, Brentford in 10th, with a new manager, having lost 2 of their best players, really smashing it, really doing really, really well. Like, why are people not talking? Anyway, so while I will often talk about Manchester United or relate things to Manchester United, I do want to go out of my way to try and talk about teams that I don't feel are talked about enough, or maybe things about teams that I don't feel are talked about enough. So I thought that was a really good match, a really interesting match between City and Leeds. And so I will always try and bring up things that I maybe not see on other channels, or like when I'm watching other channels and I'm going, why is this not being spoken about? I'll come here and I'll talk about it with you guys. The community posts there, I put up a post there, God, it must be a month ago now, but it's like, if you have any ideas for videos, if there's something you see that you feel isn't being talked about, something that's important that you think should be spoken about more, something that you think just people are missing, get it in the comment on that post. I will find it, and it's more than likely I'm going to talk about it, because that's really what Twisted, it might be Burnley. You're 100% correct. Twisted has given me an idea. The next video might be about Burnley. I don't know, Twisted. What the people want, the people get. So if people go to that post, people tell me what they want to talk about. If they say Burnley, that's what I'm going to do. Because that is the point of this channel, is that absolutely everybody is welcome. Absolutely everybody can have an opinion, once it's not abusive, obviously. But it's basically about having a chat. And like, it's a party that everybody's invited to. Like, nobody's going to look down their nose and be like, oh, your team's not big enough, we're not talking about you. You don't count. You're not realistic. I don't care. Bring all your deluded, mental, unrealistic opinions here, and we will talk about them, because that's what fans do. Fans are not pundits. We are not supposed to be sensible and serious. We don't need to look at all the facts. We have to feel our way. Do you know, like Danny in Grease Lightning? We have to feel our way. So get your thoughts in, get comments in. I'll look at them all. I don't care. I'll talk about anything. As you can tell, I don't even need to breathe. So I'm going to do some more comments now. Marv, Lou's next video is who's going to finish higher in the table this season, Everton or Liverpool. Honestly, give Liverpool a few more lost points and I might. I have no shame. Mama Flossie, I love it. Welcome to Lou's tea party. Do you know Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter has a tea party? All I need is a hat. My hair's already purple. I'm just going to channel my inner like Mad Hatter / Willy Wonka mentalness. Welcome to the tea party. Welcome to the madhouse. Everybody is welcome. Love it, love it. I love that you encourage them. Can you see why I enjoy the chaos, people? I am the chaos. I learned to live with it. So I'm so glad everybody's getting involved. Let me see. Right, more comments, people. Not blah blah blah, but I mean, you're all chatting to each other, so I don't need to read out your whole conversation. We all need a little something on the Monday. We do. Great reminder. Thank you, guess. We all need a little something on a Monday. Sometimes a lot of something. Anthony. Martinez had the same injury as Igor and Timber. He's a great centre-back and I believe he'll get back to his best. Anthony, I have never wanted an Arsenal fan to be so right in all of my life. So fingers crossed for you, my friend. I hope you are correct, because if he gets back to his best, he's phenomenal. So fingers crossed. Guess tea is always the answer. Love a bit of tea. Love a bit of tea. Twisted is said maybe not always tea. Maybe an Irish coffee for Twisted. Guess now guess Mrs. De Gea. I shouldn't have said his name. I just knew. Let me see. It's done that mad scrolly thing again. Where are we? Marv is saying we need some service for our striker. Do you know what it is, Marv, that drives me a wee bit mad? When we have a striker on the pitch, there's no service. When the striker's off the pitch, there's loads of service. Our team is a little bit confused. That seems like a basic type of thing, but our team, not so much. A lot of people drink bad tea. Bad tea is the problem for everybody. Lions tea. Oh, maybe it's different. We have like Lions and Barry's. What do you have? Lions tea is my favourite, but what kind of tea do you have? Mama, are you looking forward to your derby? Honestly, where do you think Sunderland will finish? I'm going for safe but bottom half. Dave, so Flossie is looking forward to the derby, Dave. It's been a while since she's played in the league and it could be a tough one. Do you know what? The way Sunderland are playing this season, they're sixth at the minute, aren't they? I think it could be a tough one. Like, Newcastle have had a difficult start. Hopefully now these are starting to build a bit of momentum. Sunderland have been phenomenal. So honestly, like, that could be a really tough match for you. I know I will be watching because, you know, interesting. They could drop off like Forest did last season. Could totally happen. Let me see. What else? Knowing our manager Onana will end up starting when he gets back, I don't think we go that far. Honestly, I just cry. Mama is doing a like check. Has everybody hit the like button? Because if not, she's going to get that spanner out and yous are all in trouble. Yous are all in trouble. I would not fight with Mama Flossie when she says hit the like button. You better hit the like button. Burnley, yeah, Burnley's next. Newcastle look a different team as well with the backs back. Or as Ruben would say, wing backs. What? Right, I'm going to try again. This feels like a tongue twister. Newcastle looks a different team as well with the backs back. Or as our Ruben would say, backs, wingers, all in one. Okay. What I will say is the part of that comment I understand is that, yes, Newcastle do look a different team now that their players are starting to come back, particularly their defensive wingers. Shout out to our Ash, who did tell me that was going to happen. I never doubted him for a minute. Lou's next video is who's going to finish higher. Oh, Everton or Liverpool, totally possible. Christmas is coming. There's hats in the comments. We're all mad hatters here. Let me see. Yorkshire Gold Tea. I don't think I've ever had that. Yorkshire Gold Tea. I don't think I've had that one. I have, do you know, when you go to hotels and stuff and they give you the Earl Grey, the English breakfast tea and stuff, I don't like that one. Sorry, people. They give it to you because nobody else wants it. Sorry. Maybe Yorkshire Gold Tea sounds like it would be nice. It sounds like Lion's Gold Blend. I feel like I could drink that. I trust you on tea, Flossie. I feel like you would know good tea. But I've skipped Anthony. Anthony says something here about football instead of tea. That's why I've skipped him. Newcastle starting 11 is comparable with most top 6 teams. Top right back, left back, midfield is right up there. Their front 3 is great. I think they need one more top centre back and a world-class right winger. Elanga is not him, and Murphy. Sounds good to me, Anthony. I mean, I still want them to finish below us. I know yous are doing quite well up there at the top of the league. The rest of us are scrapping for European spots. So if you could stop just telling other teams what to do, that would be fantastic, okay? We want to get United better, not Newcastle, friend. But yes, thank you all for your comments. It's lovely just to have a wee chat. Let's see. Our only player who's good at crosses and actually does it is either on the bench or injured. Mount. Yeah, but when he plays, he's good, Marv. He is good. Frustrating, but good. Marv, what can we do next? So the next video. What kind of tea is your favourite EPL team? That's like, what kind of cocktail is your team? I mean, honestly, no. I would honestly do a wonderful stream on that. People would switch off. It'd just be me here by myself talking about tea and football. People would click in randomly, be like, what's this about? And be like, this girl's mental, and click back off the stream. We're trying to get people to join the tribe, not scare them away, at least not at first. We can't tell them we're mental straight away. We have to lure them in, let them think we're normal, let them think we talk about football like normal people, and then we smack them with the craziness. You know yourself. Flossie is out to walk the hounds. Flossie, wrap up, because if it's anything like here, the weather is absolutely dreadful. On that note, I am going to let everybody go, because I said this was going to be a half an hour. It hasn't been a half an hour, it's been far longer. It has been such wonderful time. I love all of your company. You are all fantastic. But honestly, as I said, I like to talk about teams and players that I don't feel are getting enough attention. I think Brentford are smashing it. As I said, Keith Andrews was their set piece coach. He's only become their head coach in the summer. They lost 2 of their best players. So between Mbeumo and Wissa, they had 50 GA last season and they lost that completely. And here they are in 10th. What I will say is their next 5 matches are Arsenal, Spurs, Leeds, City in the EFL, and then Wolves. That is a very, very tough run. If they come out of that still in and around it, I think it's going to be very hard to deny them. Honestly, they're doing really well. They have a tough run in. So I see Marv there saying Brentford can upset City. If they do, that'll be one for the books. I'm really interested. Really, really interested. First of all, can Tiago keep this up, this form? Can he stay injury free? Hopefully that, there won't be any long-lasting damage from his injury last season. If Shada and Utara can start, pitching in with a few more goals each, they really could do well this season. So I'm keeping a watching brief, because the thing is, as I said when I was speaking to Ash, about this team's going to do better, this team's going to improve, this team's going to move up. As it stands, between 5th and 15th in the league, there's 5 points. It's so close this season. It is so competitive. 1 or 2 bogey sort of match results, and you're dropping like 10 places. It's absolute madness. We're going like from 13th, I think we were 4th at one point, we're back down to 7th, blah, blah, blah. We're all over the place. The whole lot of the teams are all over the place, and all that's taken is one win, one loss, and you're moving up or down massive amount of points. So I think, you know, that's a really tough run they have their next few games. But if they can keep scoring that amount of goals, I mean, what's to say they can't just do an absolute madness? So I will be keeping my eye on Tiago, and if my club is interested in him, if he can keep up this form, if he can stay injury free, and we'll all be keeping an eye on Brentford because they might take a spot from one of our teams. Not Arsenal, obviously, Anthony, because you're flying, but the rest of us. And we'll have to keep an eye on Brentford because they could be a serious, serious threat to us. So I'm going to do last run of comments, and then I'm going to let everybody go for the evening. Twisted Baba would like some health advice. So if anybody on YouTube has health advice for Twisted Baba on what he can do with his excessive flatulence, please leave it in the comments. He will come back and read them, and it's very urgent. My suggestion, Twisted Baba, is to eat less beans for your dinner. But that's just my advice. What else? Anthony reckons Brentford can get 7 points out of 12. That would be massive. Anthony, tell me, so Arsenal, Spurs, Leeds, now City is the EFL, and then Wolves, so yeah, 4 3s is 12. So I assume you're giving them 3 for Wolves. What else are you giving them there? What else? What does everyone else reckon? So in the next 4 in the Premier League, Arsenal, Spurs, Leeds and Wolves, what do you reckon Brentford is going to do there? How many points? How do you break it down? What are you reckoning? Get them in, just out of my curiosity, because 7 sounds really good. I reckon if they get 7 out of 12 there, they're smashing it. I assume, right, so you're probably giving them Wolves, Leeds, and then what, 1 against Spurs? Lose to Arsenal, draw to Spurs, beat Leeds, lose to City in the EFL, yeah, and then probably beat Wolves. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad one. Leeds could be tough. Leeds could be tough. If Kate's listening, please don't listen to this bit. They might beat Spurs quicker than Leeds. Honestly. Leeds, I don't know, maybe it's just the United Leeds thing. I just never look at Leeds as an easy match. But, and I think, look, everyone's looking at Wolves, but at some point Rob Edwards is going to do something there. At some point they're going to win a match. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. But let me see, is anyone else giving me any predictions? Peppermint ain't cutting it. Stick the peppermint up your backside. That might help. Don't do that. Please don't do that. I forgot people take things seriously on the internet. Don't do it. It's incredible. When you're on YouTube, you can't say silly things like that because some mental case out there will believe you. So you have to, like, tell everybody you're joking. Mental. I forget about that sometimes. Yes, Marv, Twisted got Louise to say flatulence on the live video because she's crazy like that. So I've read Anthony's. Marv is saying draw to Arsenal. Oh, beat Spurs, which I said is a possibility. Beat Leeds, draw to City. City is EFL, so what do we think of Wolves? I'm assuming everyone's just giving them 3 points for Wolves. Arsenal might hurt Brentford just out of frustration. We will find out Wednesday. I mean, that's very true too, Anthony. Yous are going to be frustrated after that. I know we were so frustrated after, not getting the result against 10 men. I know yous got a better result than we did, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating for the coach. It's frustrating for the players. It's frustrating for the fans. Quick comment on that match because obviously everybody and their mother's talking about Arsenal and Chelsea at the minute. I did, in my video before the match, I did say I thought 2-1 to Arsenal. Right before kickoff, I changed my mind, and in my predictions, we do predictions in our group chat, I put a draw. The draw is what happened. We did say that they were very level going in, their form was level, and that sometimes, football's not played on paper, these things can happen. It's funny because Chelsea got what would be considered the result. They got the draw against the leader of the pack with only 10 men on the pitch. But it's City that's actually moved into second, which I find just quite funny, and the way it's happened, because Chelsea might have actually just done City a favour, not themselves. But yeah, watch and brief on that without getting too far into it. Anthony reckons Wolves are finished and they might beat Derby's record, oh my God, for the least amount of points. Yeah, that would be dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. The only thing, and maybe this is what they were thinking, I don't think Rob Edwards goes anywhere if they get demoted. I think he's with them. I actually think they've got him with the view that they could probably go down and that he will then stay with them. Because imagine they get a new head coach or manager now, and then they go down, which is likely going to happen, and then that coach leaves because there's normally a relegation clause, and then they have to find another one. Rob Edwards will stay with them even if they go down. I'd be astounded if he didn't, and so at least it gives them a bit of continuance. But yeah, that you could be right. You really, really could be right, Anthony. And look, we're all just glad it's not happening to our teams. So I feel sorry for the Wolves fans, because it's horrible when your team's going through something like that. It's horrible. Banter and jokes and all the fun of it. I think you could really be right there, and I think it's just sad, isn't it? It's sad to see, but also very grateful that it's not happening to my club. So, guys, I'm really going this time. I promise I'm actually leaving the stream this time. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for spending some of your Monday evening with me. We've had a lovely wee chat there. Enjoy the rest of your nights. Please smash the like button if you haven't already. I know you're all subscribed, but maybe some people will watch this afterwards and they might want to subscribe. I promise we're not mental all of the time. We're a good old lot. And if you are new and you've not seen any of the videos before, please do subscribe and come back and see us again. Bye bye, folks.